Well, hello, Sagittarius, and thank you for joining me today. We're going in reverse. I started with Capricorn's reading for March and April. Today we're looking at Sagittarius. We're going to switch things up. Sagittarius is next in line. Strong fire sign, but they've been going through some difficulties lately, like most of you guys who are led to my channel. You're usually focusing on a hardship. It seems to be the pattern that my readings have been running lately. Over the past year, it's been a strong topic. Now, I want to tell you something. I received an interesting letter a day or two ago from someone I had done a reading for. Oh, I did the reading about 4 or 5 months ago. And that person sent me an email and said, none of this stuff has happened. Well, first of all, I want to say that time is malleable. And when you get a private reading, sometimes we talk about things that you may not experience for 2, 3, 4 months, even longer, up to 2 years, 3 years. I've had people come to me 2, 3 years later and say everything that you said was true. So what you have to do, number one, is when you get the information, you have to be patient. Number two, it's not a magic bullet. It's not a magic pill. What it is tarot for me anyway, and I can't speak for other readers. I can't go into a reading and say, these things will absolutely happen to you. That wouldn't be true. It's about the potential. It's about the possibilities. It's about the race that you're running. And are you in the right lane? Are you making the right choices? Are you doing the right things to make the possibilities come through for you? If you're sitting at home watching TV, if you're on a weekend meltdown with Netflix and a gallon of Chunky Monkey, the tarot fairy is not going to come and knock on your door. You have to make things happen in your own life. What I do here is tell you what your potential is, what the possibilities are, what is absolutely, without a doubt in my mind, your potential going through a certain circumstance. And when you put the pieces of the puzzle together correctly and you make the right decisions, this is what you end up with. That's what I do. Now that I'm done with that little rant, if you want a reading meant just for you, go to my Weebly website and we'll arrange it. Also, at the end of this video, we're going to go over to my Vimeo channel and do a love reading meant just for you with the John Holland Tarot Oracle for the Heart. I think it's something like that. It's a Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle deck by John Holland. I love his work. If you notice, I do love his decks. I have 2. I need more. So thank you guys. Thank you for everything you do for me. Now I've already concentrated very much so. For Sagittarius, March and April. Well, now I'm not going to take this card because it's not part of this reading's ritual. But I want to show you. I really think this is in this time period. The High Priestess here is saying you really need to tap into your inner wisdom to achieve whatever it is that we might be talking about here today. Yeah, and I don't want to sound harsh to people because I love my followers and those of you who have gotten readings from me. Some of you are going to say, no, none of it actually happened. And I'm going to say that's actually possible. It's absolutely possible that none of the things I talk about will happen. There's a thing called divine timing. Were you looking down when maybe you should have been looking up? And that's just like a metaphor. Were you not paying attention when Mr. Wonderful was trying to buy you a drink from the other side of the bar? Did you blow him off because your girlfriend said, oh, look at that loser? Okay? Honestly, it's a lot of the times, and I do have to ask, where were you when these things were happening around you? Were you tuned in? Were you tapped into the potential? Or were you sidestepping stuff because you just didn't feel like it? Or you forgot you were supposed to be tuned in, tapped in. The tarot is about potential. It's about possibilities. It's not about a magic bullet. That's enough. Okay, I think we're getting ready to get into Sagittarius and your month ahead. If you need to get a cup of tea, a glass of wine, go ahead and do it now. This would be the time. Now, I'm going to cut the deck in half on this one. And I'm going to take the first deck. Off of the bottom, we want a focus card. The Eight of Cups, walking away from a situation. Now we want 8 cards down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goodness gracious, Nancy. 6, 7, and 8. And then we take this pile, and off the bottom we get another focus card. The Four of Wands. Card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With our 2 focus cards, what I get very much for some of you here, and this is going to resonate with some of you, not all of you. Check your sun, moon, rising signs, your Venus sign if you're looking for answers around love or issues pertaining to your heart, to your emotion, to your emotional growth. Here at your focus, Sagittarius, we have the Eight of Cups. It's the card to me that speaks to emotional loss and having to leave people, emotional situations, things that you desperately wanted in life and maybe had to give up on and walk away. And the Four of Wands talks about the home. So I'm going to say we may be focusing in on a home situation for someone where there's been maybe separation, hardship, loss, maybe because of mistakes that you made, maybe mistakes that someone else made. But with the Eight of Cups, usually there's a heartbreaking situation around emotional issues and actions, emotional actions of a sort. Now, we have a woman here. She's got 5 cups standing. There are still a lot of possibilities in front of her. Although she's very much tuned in to one circumstance that has led her to a sorrowful situation. She's been left behind because we see someone in the shadow moving off. Someone has left her. And it's someone that's deeply connected to her home, to her heart, to the things that makes her happy. And so there's loss for someone around a situation. Maybe it's several situations. And it's led to disappointment within your home, within your very, I want to say your feelings of stability, because this is very much a card of stability. So there's some loss of stability, and that is probably more of an emotional kind of loss than it is a monetary loss. Now, let's look at the first question. The first question asks, who are you now? What are you going through right now in your life that is making you behave a certain way or feel a certain way? Something going on around you that right now is talking about you, because this reading is about you, Sag. Now, first we have the Knight of Swords. This is kind of hasty energy. But what he brings, the Knight of Swords, is a completion of a cycle. Now, this completion will usually bring about better things, a greater sense of accomplishment, something. I'm going to put the focus energy down here, actually, so you can see it throughout the reading. Now, that combination, to me, talks about completion because of maybe someone's careless actions. An ending coming because of someone's careless actions. But because of that ending, we have a new beginning around something. So this is really going to say the place you're at right now, Sagittarius, is not only endings, but beginnings, completions of cycles. You're standing in a very positive light right now with the world, even though certain endings feel a little bit cruel. They feel like they're coming on suddenly. Pardon me. And it feels like mental thinking is, maybe you're beating yourself up a little bit on a mental level. Maybe you're placing judgments upon yourself during this time where there are completions, there are endings, there are beginnings. So maybe where you're at right now is a place where you're being a little bit hard on yourself while some issues in your life are wrapping up. And these issues are final. These issues, these endings that you're going through are going to be of a final nature. But the future is always positive on the world. Even though you may be going through some challenging endings, the beginnings are really very strong. Now, we ask next, who have you been in the past? Well, this is very interesting. We have the Ten of Cups and the Four of Cups. So Sagittarius, I really, in the past, I place you in a very kind of joyful environment. Maybe you were in a situation with someone where there was love, happiness, togetherness, laughter, and good feelings. But there was an element in the situation that was missing. You had almost everything that you could have wanted to have a happy home. But there was an element missing in the past. And that's why you're bringing around the endings. That's why the endings have to come. That's why we're focusing on someone's maybe misdeeds that left us to a disappointing separation. And so there you go. That's what I really think you've been through in the past. The happy home, the good environment, laughter, good times, a real natural feeling that all is right with the world but one element. Because if you see this picture, he's spilling the cup that was offered to him. This tells me there was an element within the situation for some of you that really was the disappointment. It was the one thing that was missing from the scenario. And it caused the breakup or the separation of whatever it is for you. I'm really getting, I've got very heavy love energy here. Do you blame me? We've got the 10 and the 4 and the 8 of cups and nothing else really except a wand. Talks about the happy nature of a home where there's been a disappointment. This is reconfirmation, but it says these things weren't in the past. In the present, we've got changes coming. Some of the changes are harsh, but these are completions that have to happen. Now, like I said, if it's not resonating with you, you need to watch another reader or go watch your moon and rising. I'm cool with that because some of us just are not meant to fit. So, thank you. Okay, now we're moving on for whoever is sticking around. What are your expectations, Sagittarius? Well, interesting. I'm almost speechless. Sagittarius, your expectations is the Ace of Cups. A brand new beginning with the Queen of Pentacles. So whoever Sagittarius is in this picture is looking for either a brand new beginning with someone from their past, maybe a Queen of Pentacles, which would be an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo. Or it could be just someone who is very emotionally stable, who is very slow, pretty much in just about everything they do. They're very methodical, purposeful in everything that they do. Every action that they make in life serves a purpose. And they're very grounded emotionally and sometimes can feel almost earth goddess-like. They have a very much in-tuned nature, like their name is Rain, and they make sweaters out of wheat. They're that kind of a person, They make hemp soap and sing Kumbaya every night in the commune. She's very much an earth goddess type of personality. And so what you're expecting, and even though this doesn't really speak to anyone in particular, it doesn't have to. What it is you're looking for a new beginning in love and in security, in stability, in the characteristics that this Queen of Pentacles brings. Male or female, hetero or homo, trans or bi, whatever you are, whatever spectrum you sit on in the human race, we've got you covered here. She talks about the nurturer, the one who embraces all elements, the earth, the animals, the soul, the person. She kind of brings everything together in one kind of perfected kind of individual, but it's about a new beginning. Maybe of something more nurturing, maybe something that's just more stable. Now, okay, expectations. Next, Sagittarius, what are you needing from your situation right now? Stability and growth in money. Stability and growth in money. Some of you are working incredibly hard. You are perfecting your craft. You are building off of what it is that you're developing, and maybe you're even starting some outlets where there is new financial security coming in. But simply stated, for a lot of you, it is your financial security that you're looking to have fulfilled right now. It's what you need right now, is a more stable foundation for whatever reason that is meaningful to you. In the next position, talks about your support system. Well, for some of you, what is a support system is work. And it may be the people that you work with. It could be the associates. It could be the business that's coming towards you. But I almost feel like the situation with disappointment is really being supported by the work you do. Maybe through this situation of disappointment, you've decided to devote yourself 100% to your business, to your career, to your finances because you've been hurt. Maybe this is how you deal with disappointment. Maybe this is how you deal with the broken heart of some kind. But you're moving away from that disappointment into a brand new love. But this is saying you have to keep it feels like very much like a gravitational pull is taking you along the path. Like you're just taking, okay, this is step number 1. Boom. Step number 2. Here we go. So it feels very much like you are stepping forward 1 foot at a time, being very methodical, like the Queen of Pentacles would. Being careful about where to go and what to do next in order to achieve the happiness. And maybe it comes after this time of disappointment. Now, what do you find inspiring? Interesting. We have the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Cups as an inspiration. It's going to take me just a second to put this together. Okay. I think if we want to talk about inspiration, I think this is about releasing, opening yourself up to new potential. What is inspiring you maybe in front of you is the potential for the kind of life that you want to have, and releasing yourself from the situation of disappointment, maybe diving head first into your work, pouring yourself into what it is that fulfills you on an earthly level, like the Queen of Pentacles. And having this fulfillment play out, this is about the release. It's about releasing yourself from what has kept you down, from what has held you back. Because inspiration comes from happiness for you. It comes from the abundance that comes from love and sharing. Sharing of the good things in life. Now, here we go. Let's take a look at the next situation. Next, we want to look at what you might find to be a hardship or a problem. And this makes sense. Some of you who are ever going through this transformation where you're going from hardship to the potential to regain a love situation, whether it's this one that has fallen to the wayside due to disappointment, or it's a brand new one, which I want to think the Ace of Cups brings in for you. You're dealing with the 5 of Swords and Temperance. And this is really about letting go of the struggle here. But for me, depending on what this person did to you, it's about forgiveness. It's about inner struggle. because this is mental energy. It's about the mental conflict. It's about leaving all of that conflict behind. And temperance is about seeking not only the spiritual guidance that frees you from the conflict, but it's about forgiveness, forgiving other people for what they've done to you, forgiving yourself for what you've done to yourself, forgiving yourself for maybe what you've done to other people. Forgiveness is a huge part of letting go of the struggle. And it may be hard for you to get past some of the things that someone has done to you. But the temperance says that Spirit's there to guide you, to lead you to more balance, more harmony and joy in your life once you let go of that struggle. Now the next position is our outcome. Oh my goodness, 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 Sagittarius. What are we doing here? Wow. Okay, can I be a Sagittarius? Sagittarius, your outcome. The Nine of Pentacles, our independent lady. Male or female, it doesn't matter. It's about being grounded and secure and successful in your own right. It's about having your own. And the Queen of Cups. This can talk about a new love interest. Or it talks about love coming into your life during a time when you're really very focused on being independent. Like I said, some of you have decided after a hardship, you're going to dive right into your work. Because your work is going to give you more security and more satisfaction than love has given you. But as you transit through this time, through this stage, and this can go on for a while, just because the reading concludes April doesn't mean that April is the end. This feels very much like a progressive, slow-moving influx of activity that takes you to a very successful, very healthy, very secure, and incredibly loving time. Maybe with a new partner, maybe with a water sign, maybe with an earth sign. And this would represent you, Sagittarius. You are the Temperance card. So, I believe you're Temperance. Okay, I'm not going to start second guessing myself. This is you overcoming any struggles. Because the progression forward, even at a slow pace, the progression forward is not just independence and inner strength and success and freedom and the ability to do whatever it is you please. There's also someone there to love. Now, I'm going to go over to Vimeo and we're going to do a love reading now. See what that has to say about this situation for you, Sagittarius. So, I think that's about all I've got for you, Sag. If you want a reading meant just for you, go to my Weebly webpage. Pick a reading, go to the contact form. Tell me what you want, and I will just send off the right invoice for it, and we'll get that going. You can have a reading usually within ranges from about 2 business days to about 5 when I'm very busy. So, that's where we stand with private readings. Your love reading again at my Vimeo link down below. And until the next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. New love wants to come in. but you really are progressing naturally. You're going with the flow. Sag, you're moving towards something here. Okay? Here's where your real peace is at as you move through. Someone, for some of you, is going to make themselves known. There you go, guys. Take care. And peace.